Look, starting an e-commerce business is hard. I get it. I've been there and I failed so many times. So here are my top learnings on how you can get an e-com business started today, get it to making your first few sales, and then scaling it all within a matter of weeks. Let's get into it.
There are 4 key areas. First here is timeline. When we look at the timeline, speed is key. In software land, when it comes to hiring, when it comes to raising money from investors, we raise millions of dollars. When it comes to selling to customers, getting in front of people, selling to people, doing everything fast is the most important thing. So for Shopify, you can literally start store within 3 days. 3 days. And we're talking like literally launch something. You can launch a store within 3 days. This was what I did a couple of weeks ago with the first store that I launched. I forgot how to do Shopify stores entirely, so I sat down for the first time and just watched a tutorial. There are so many tutorials on YouTube on how to start a store. Just go through, watch one, and they'll teach you the fundamentals. Secondly was finding the right product. Now, with product, you want to find the ad, not the product. So, here's what I mean. It might sound counterintuitive, but it's not. You want to find ads that are working first. For me, I found this tool called PP Ads. I was watching a YouTube video and someone spoke about it. It's a weird name. But it has all the top trending Facebook ads and TikTok ads that people are running. So instead of going through and trying to find products on AliExpress or other websites and aha, that's the thing I'm going to sell. You don't know if it's going to sell. You don't know if it's something that Facebook or TikTok is going to actively pick up and push. You don't know if it's trending. So if you look at something like PP Ads, it literally tells you what the products are that are performing the best. Are there likes? Are there comments? Are there shares? Is there general engagement on the post? And are people seeing and are they buying? So if you see a product on there that you like, cool. Pick it and go and sell it. You build the store, you run some Facebook ads and you test it. The products that I've seen do the best are the ones that solve real problems. I've probably looked at 500 plus products over the last couple of weeks to go and sell. And I have this entire goddamn spreadsheet of the pros and cons of each, and I've got a criteria for what types of products I want to test versus not. And the thing that has stood out to me time and time again is the ones that do well solve real world problems. A good example is back pain. If you can solve someone's back pain, and it might not be a permanent fix, but it might be, a classic example is like one of those posture corrector devices, but it's like a specific spin on the posture corrector. So it might be something they can put on their bed, or it might be something they can properly dangle off. There's like a spin on something that already works, and it solves a real problem. Next is the platform. I found this works particularly well. ClickFunnels, weirdly, and not Shopify. The products that I've seen that solve real world problems, and these guys are making millions of dollars a month. Typically the products are targeted towards elderly people. You'd be surprised how many 60-year-olds sit on Facebook all day and watch Facebook. They scroll through, the boomers, they comment on crap and they share it with their friends. They are the perfect customer. They like information. So instead of it being a little 2-minute ad, it's a 10-minute ad. It's a massive, a massive explainer where the sell to a customer is not, here's my product, you should buy it because here's all the 10 features. The sell is, this is what back pain is. Here is why back pain, you might have back pain. And it's like a medical expert who could just be anyone who knows a bit about back pain, and you just give them a script because you know about back pain because you've researched it. You give them and they read it, and they read the script and they teach someone something. And it's 10 minutes of teaching and it's 2 minutes of a sell, if that, at the end. And the sell is typically testimonials of customers who have used the product. So they go from ClickFunnels to then an upsell, and that upsell could be, as I say, a pro version, or it could even be a subscription. So for your back pain example, If it's that posture corrector, you could sell them pads, replacement pads, hygiene pads. So every single month they get a replacement pad. Or say there's springs in the product, they get you springs every month. Like, do the upsell, convince them it's something that they need. If they're already putting $100 down, like they put the credit card, put the shipping information in, they're in. You just keep selling it. Keep bumping that up. So your $100 order value goes to 150, 200, which then means that when we go to ads, your actual budget for acquisition, if I can spell, is what counts. Here's what I mean. You need to have as much money to spend to acquire a customer as possible. Facebook has gotten more and more expensive over the years. Like, I used to pay, it was like, you could acquire a customer for $5 a couple of years ago. Now, we're talking, depending on the product, depending on the niche, but it's like 10, 15, 20, 30, more in some cases. Facebook is more competitive. There's only so many eyeballs. There's only so many ads that Facebook can show to certain people at any one point in time. So yours has to be the best ad, has to be the most competitive, and has to have the most budget. Because if you could only spend $5 to acquire a customer because your product is cheaper and your margins aren't that great, it's not going to work. But if you used a platform like ClickFunnels, which I've seen work for these people over the last couple of weeks, then your budget can be higher because your $100 that you might have only been able to, get a customer to buy for, then turn to 150, 200. So instead of being able to only spend $20 to acquire the customer, 20% of the cost of the revenue, you can now go and spend 20% on 200. So your acquisition budget has gone 100% up. It's doubled. So yeah, and then it translates into ROAS, which is what is the return on ad spend that you are getting? Every single dollar that you put into Facebook, how much money do you get out in return? We're talking revenue here. So my ROAS for the last couple of weeks with the products that I've been selling has been pretty crap, to be honest. Typically it's sitting around like 1.6, 1.7. In some cases for some products it's 2, but it's not good enough. So I'm not making oodles of profit at the minute from what I'm trying to sell, to be very honest. And this is something that I need to improve. The revenue is there, but the profit is not. Typically, I found there's maybe 3 things wrong. So if we kind of just draw here, there's maybe 3 things wrong. Could be the ad itself is not good enough. So the first kind of hook, whether the ad's not engaging, typically it's the first couple of seconds. How good is the hook and how can you get that customer watching? First thing. Second is the website. How engaging is the website? Is your site going to convert? Are you using something like ClickFunnels? Is your Shopify site good? You can install a tool like Vitals. I have on every one of my stores now. I can actually watch customers as they go through, so you can see where they're clicking, what they're clicking on, how long do they stay, where are they going. If they're getting distracted and they're just going somewhere else on your site, or they come on and they just click off, that's probably your website. And then the final thing that could be going wrong is the product. Could just be a completely dud product. So you want to look at these 3 things if your ROAS isn't great from day one. And I honestly, even if it is good, you want to keep an eye on these things regardless. Do you have the right ads? Do you have the right website that actually converts? Can you make it better? Can you find competitors that are doing a better job? Get inspiration from them? And do you have the right product? Because honestly, at the end of the day, even if someone else is able to sell a product and it looks profitable and they're getting sales and they got traffic, if you use tools like SimilarWeb, you can actually see how much traffic someone is getting. And they're getting traffic and they're spending money on ads. And the product might not work for you. So you have to keep going. And I find that most people, literally, doesn't matter, all of this here, doesn't matter that if within one roadblock, e.g., you don't move fast enough, e.g. your product turns out not to be right, e.g. the platform you choose, you just get stuck on building the store, your ads aren't right, you just get stuck on launching ads or the ads don't start performing. If you give up after one roadblock, you are like the vast majority of people. And trust me, there have been many times for me personally over these last couple of weeks where I'm not used to this sort of stuff. This is ground zero. I had teams of people do a lot of this stuff for me previously. And now it's just me. This is me because I want to go back to basics and I want to be able to feel what it's like to find something that people want, launch ads or find a way to reach people who might want it and get them to convert. That has been my experience over the last couple of weeks, and it's fulfilling, but it's hard. It's very hard. But is it? Not really, if you just kind of get these things right. So anyway, this is what I have learned. Hopefully it is useful, and I'll check back in the next couple of weeks with more learnings, but start here. And yeah, a lot's changed over the last couple of years.
Well, yeah, no, it's Saturday and we've just done Salt, which is a cafe that we always head to here in Brisbane, and they've got this thing called AM Beats, which is, it's like, instead of it being beats at 9 p.m. with alcohol, it's beats at 9 a.m. with no alcohol and just caffeine. So we've just done that, and now I've got Facebook ads to go and run. Typically Facebook ads don't do as well when we launch them on weekends, so maybe I won't launch them today, but we've got to go spend some time doing that. And then little brother and I are going to go play some pickleball, and Mr. Hamish, his birthday,
Got my 23rd on.
is tonight. So we're going to hang out, we'll have some couple of drinks, chill, we're going to get some footage.
Yeah, we can get some footage. Yeah.
Done.
What do we use to do the comments with?
Cheers.
Black Friday sale.